Today is the start of the Diversathon, but I've kind of consigned myself to reading Empire of Storms this week, so I thought I would still put up a video about diversity. So I've got a bunch of books here that feature some diverse characters that I think people could read this week. So, first ones I'm going to mention are the ones that I don't own the physical copies of, so I'm just going to whistle through them. That's things like Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe, Openly Straight by Bill Konigsberg, One Man Guide by Michael Barakiva, and Proxy by Alex London is the big one in those, because Proxy features not only a gay main character, but a character of colour as the main character, so really those four mostly feature queer characters, so just thought I'd throw them out there just so I've mentioned them. I know there's a couple more. But moving on to the ones I actually have physical copies of, the first one I'm going to mention is one that I mentioned a lot recently. That is the Foxhole Court by Nora Sakavic. I don't know a whole video about why people should read this, but it does feature diversity. People really should get on this series. So then we have the Gone series by Michael Grant, which features not only a lot of teens who are gay. There's two especially lead characters that are gay. Well, gay and she's a lesbian, but gay. They're into the same sex. So it features that, but it also has a lot of characters of colour and different ethnicities, because it's a diverse town these kids live in. If you don't know what Gone's about, it follows a group of kids who are trapped in a town with all the over 15-year-olds disappear. Some of them get superpowers, and there's this alien thing. It's a really cool series. Diversity, people, in this series is great, just beautiful. Next up, we have the Half Bad trilogy by Sally Green. And yes, I do hate Half Bad, but I do love the other two quite a lot, especially when Nathan kind of comes into his own, because this follows a boy named Nathan who is a half black witch, half white witch, and that's a very bad thing, and basically the witch's council is kind of out for him, and he eventually comes to terms with the fact he falls in love with a guy, so it has that aspect. So beautiful series, there you go. One that I think a lot of people know about, which is Carry On by Rainbow Rowell, because this is just basically gay wizards. That's kind of what this series is. It follows Simon, and he is like the worst chosen one in history. He's not very good at his magic, but his relationship with Baz is really funny, so really good series. Book, this is meant to be like this final book in a series of Harry Potter books, but it's not. It's just kind of, we get this one, it's really fun. Another one that I've mentioned a lot recently, and I'm going to keep mentioning it, and that is We Are the Ants by Sean David Hutchinson. Another one I've mentioned a lot about, so I'm not going to talk about it too much, but this book, I don't understand why it hasn't blown up already, because it's so good. So, We Are the Ants by Sean David Hutchinson. Then we have The Raven Cycle by Maggie Stiefvater. Another one that I think a lot of people know about, because it is got quite a nice rounded cast of characters, and especially from the Dream Thieves onwards, one of the characters is gay, and you do know about it, and then Raven King features a male-male romance, so this series kind of improves its diversity as the series goes, which I think is quite interesting. It's really complicated, actually, and when I went into the Raven Cycle, I didn't know a lot about it, so if you don't know anything about the Raven Cycle at this point, you should definitely get on it before you get spoiled for anything, because it's so much better going in with this a mystery of what actually happens. That's my opinion. But then we have an author, and I know some people don't like this author, but a lot of people do, and that is the books by Cassandra Clare. Because say what you like about her, she always puts a lot of effort into making her cast diverse. I'd say Infernal Devices is probably the weakest, but even then you have Jem, who is of Asian ancestry, so it's still got more diversity than some books. And obviously the Mortal Instruments has characters of colour, it has gay characters, bisexual characters, it has all of it. The Dark Artifices as well. I think the Dark Artifices is going to be even better with having a lot of characters of different cultures, different sexualities. So Cassandra Clare really puts in the effort to make sure her casts are diverse, and I think that's something that should be appreciated. So Cassandra Clare as an author is top notch for that. So And then another author that a lot of people probably know about and most people seem to love, but I'm going to show up this series differently from the other ones because this one is the underrated one. This is the Kane Chronicles by Rick Riordan, and the reason I show you this one over like Percy Jackson or Heroes of Olympus is because one of the main characters of the Kane Chronicles is a person of colour. Carter and Sadie are brother and sister, but Carter definitely takes after his dad. He's African American, and there is a host of supporting characters that are of different cultures. The rest of the characters all seem to have a mixture of backgrounds, and I think it's really important for that. Not only that, but this series is stunning. It follows them as they become hosts to Egyptian gods. So yeah, it's really good. Obviously, the Percy Jackson series is probably his least diverse one, but Heroes of Olympus really went a long way to introducing more characters that are more diverse. Because you have Frank, you have Hazel, you have Piper, and you have Nico. And because of that, obviously Trials of Apollo I think is another one to really mention, because this series is obviously ongoing, but Apollo is the lead and Apollo is openly bisexual. And this is a middle grade series where the main character is openly bisexual. In fact, he talks about how attractive both boys and girls are in the book in kind of a humorous way, and obviously Nico is a key supporting character in that with Will, so that's really good. And then you have the Magnus Chase series, which has Samira, which she is a Middle Eastern descent, so you have that kind of diversity, which I didn't think I was going to get. So that's why Rick Riordan is just a great author for this as well. Those two I think really stand out as diverse authors. So that's that. I probably sound a bit dead because I'm filming this as soon as I've woken up, because I'm going to be pre-filming a couple of videos because my sister is going to be home for the next 2 weeks, and by home I mean really home for the next 2 weeks, so I'm not going to get much of a chance to film, so I'm going to try and get these up. I hope you enjoyed this one, so expect to see this shirt again. I will have another one up soon, so goodbye.